for next week so that y'all can plan. Tuesday of next week, the second week we're out of session, we'll meet from 10 to 12, take a break for lunch, and from 1 to 2, and we will have the budget hearings for the '08 budget. And then on Wednesday, we'll have a working committee session around a table beginning at 9 a.m. and concluding whenever, but probably around 11 or 11:30. And then tentatively right now I'm planning on meeting Monday, the day we come back into session, at 10:30 to vote out the '08 budget. It's possible that'll change, but for now that's what we're looking at. I don't think the meeting notices will go up today because the lady who does it is home with a sick child. Are we ready to, is everybody here? Is anyone? Who else?
Mr. Ed Setzler, Matt
Okay,
Ball.
he can't come. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. If you will take roll.
Got it.
Don't mention the non-official. You got it?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Just tell
Okay.
them if they want to speak, please.
If you would like to speak, if you'd push your button and we'll call on you. The purpose of the meeting today is to go over this tracking document, gather a consensus, and vote out the '07 budget. It's looking like it's going to be on the House floor the week we come back on Tuesday. That's right. So if you'll turn to the tracking document you were given, page 5, we'll go over some of these changes. I'm only going to point out the changes. If you have any questions, do press your button. The first one, item 23.1, is in the academic coach program. We're going to align funding based on projected expenditures. There's $6.1 million in that program now. The governor has recommended scaling it back by 1.5. Based on better information, we're going to recommend scaling it back a total of $2.3 million. This will not cut the program. It will just simply leave the funding that is expected to be fully utilized. Representative Holmes.
But if the idea is expanding into the middle school grades, how does this affect that?
This is not the graduation coach.
Okay.
That one will be in the '08 budget, and I do have some more data to give to you on that one as we continue to look at that. This is the graduation, the academic coach for teachers, helping other teachers. John, Brown, could you explain better how we arrived at that number? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, you said what was the total amount of that budget? We're just looking at the changes.
Yes, so the total amount,
Yes, we're
tried to
spending
get
on
that for some of these to put it in perspective for you.
Yeah.
The total amount in the continuing budget today is $6.1 million.
So we're backing it down.
We're backing it down to, I guess, a little under $4 million. But I mean, the program is there and hopefully will grow, but that's all the funding. Because remember, we're at the end of the year, school year. This is all of the funds that will be utilized for this school year. Yes. Do you have another? Okay. 23.2, agricultural education. This is an addition based on some efficiencies, including this previous one, that was brought to me by Representative England. To add funds for the engineering and installation of a sewage treatment facility at the state FFA camp in Covington. I believe about 26,000 students use that a year, or use that camp last year. The EPD believes that the current 50-year-old system is no longer working properly. Sewage could leak into Lake Jackson, which could lead to fines even larger than the cost of replacing the system. And so the document shows recommending the full cost of replacing that system with one that would work better. The next change is 23.2. It's under the Non-Quality Basic Education Grants Program. Align funding for high-performing principals based on projected expenditures. This is a program that the governor announced last year. It's a great program. It may or may not need further tweaking, but if you recall, last year, by the time the governor signed the bill, there wasn't much opportunity for some of these high-performing principals to go to low-performing schools with a new contract. The program allows for a $15,000 bonus for going to a low-performing school for the first 3 years that one is there. Because we're at the end of the school year, with only 2 who've signed up, that will actually cost $30,000, not the $130,000 that was left in the program. So we are only leaving $30,000 in that program to serve for this school year. But next year, any principals that sign this contract or for this program, certainly we will fund school systems for that because we are still committed to supporting that. But it's just slow getting off. And again, we're only dealing with the amending this last school year's budget. The next item is 23.25 under the Quality Basic Education Program. We're going to add funds to correct an error in the FTE count and provide for students at the Downing Clark Residential Treatment Center for a total of $452,876 add. These are special education Category 3 students at this facility, and they were not counted in the funding formula, so this is correcting an error. The next item under that same program, 23.25.2, add funds to correct a training and experience calculation error for Chickamauga City for $80,000. That has been verified now. The next item under State Reading and Math Program, 23.31, reduce funds based on projected expenditures. We're going to zero out funding that was primarily there for a program evaluation of a program that will no longer be in place. So there's nothing to evaluate. Under State Schools Program 23.32, provide additional funds for repairs and maintenance to the 3 state schools. We heard from Department of Education at a couple meetings that these schools have actually just not really been kept up in terms of maintenance, and so this is a funding amount that the Department of Education can allocate for whichever of the 3 schools or a combination thereof have the greatest need for some repairs. Make sure that's it. Those are all the changes that I have. They result in a slight overage in what was in the budget. There are a few other things that I'm hoping that we'll be able to take care of, not through this document, but as the other vice chairs come forward over the next couple days with some savings, and there will be some savings. I'll give you a few of the things I'm hoping that we will be able to fund. One is we all heard about the residential foster care programs throughout the state, or facilities, that SB 618 last year charged us with funding not only for the state portion of education funding, but also the local. We finally, I think, come to some good numbers. It took a while to figure out, where did human resources fit in this, and then where does Department of Education need to. And it looks like we are short in the amended by about $1.4 million. So I'm going to suggest to not in this document, but to the Chairman of Appropriations, that we fund half or all of it, and either way, and perhaps ask the Senate to help with some of the rest. But in the end, I'm committed to making sure that we fund this amount because they are due this. Not just because of Senate Bill 618, but because it's the right thing to do. And these are private facilities. Either they've got the money or they don't, and they're taking care of Georgia's children. There are 5 school systems that had relatively minor changes in the money that is due them per FTE, coming to a total of $283,000. These 5 schools had middle schools counted as what I call the junior high school model, what most of us went to, 7th and 8th grade, which funds slightly less, I think $264 or so less per FTE than if you're in the middle school program, and they are in the middle school program. And I'll give you those 5 counties, school systems: Barrow County, Dawson County, Hancock County, Paulding County, and Walker County. So that will be some money, some more funding that I will ask that we finish funding. Any questions? If not, I'd like to entertain a motion at this time. Okay, second. All those in favor of passing this document on to the full committee, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Then we are adjourned. Thank you.